This is a short video describing the planned trip for the Wind River Range in Wyoming for late August, early September. Dates not completely set. You get this link to the video when you got the email, so it just gives you some basic information. But I figured it's easier to just make a video and show you some of the info as opposed to write on a really long email that nobody's going to read anyways. You're probably not going to watch the video, but hey, what the hey. I got a lot of time on my hands because I'm retired now. Gotta love that. But anyways, here goes. This is just some brief info on the trip, about the guidebook, the map, and then just real basic route details because I don't really know. You know, when we get there, the weather might be such that we have to change. But lots of options, but this is the general idea. So here goes. All right, so these are the items that I'm using to plan this trip. This is the map, Earthwalk Press, North Wind River Range Hiking Map and Guide. It's a pretty good map. It's got a lot of detail. There's another Wyoming recreation map that is really good, but it's on such a different scale that it's really hard to see details. So this is definitely the map to use. And then this is the guidebook that I'm using pretty much exclusively, Beyond Trails in the Wind River Mountains of Wyoming, and it's by Nancy Pallister. It's a good book. It's got tons of route info. I'm going to try to send you guys some of the details so that the trip I'm planning is not exclusive. Like, it's not like in this book there is that route described. I'm piecing together, I think, 3 different routes to make this trip. But lots of good info in this book. So next I'm going to show you a more detailed description of the route. Okay, open map, basic route info. And again, this is not set in stone, obviously. You know, weather may dictate that we need to do something else. But the basic idea behind this trip is that we will start at Green River Lakes. There's 2 lakes in this section. I'm going to leave my camper and my truck in the Green River Lakes campground. I think if it's still open. If it's not, there's a bunch of dispersed camping down here where I can leave it as well. But that's basically the idea. So we would start out, we're going to hike up the Continental Divide Trail, headed north, and we don't go very far on the trail. And then we're gonna get off this trail and we're gonna head up this Mill Creek drainage here. And if you look on Google Earth, if you actually have the good version of it, not just like the web version, although they might be the same now, you can actually see the trail as it comes up in here. There's like a fence line, and then it goes into timber here. So the irony is in some of the stuff that I found online, the trail, they say, is hard to find in open spaces, but very obvious in timber. Well, on Google Earth, you can't see it in the timber, but you can kind of make out bits and pieces of it where there's no trees. So we're going to take the side trail. It's going to lead us up here, and then we literally go off up this drainage right here. And you can see there's a drainage. And so my thought is our first night of camping is somewhere in this area right here. And not very far from the parking lot, 3.5, 4 miles maybe at the most. But it's probably going to take us some time. It's quite a bit of climbing. I think we end at like 9,700 feet is where we'd end up camping. But it's not a particularly long route for that day. So then day 2, we leave from here and we head over to Crescent Lake, which is over here. So this is all like a big flat plateau. A lot of people describe it as like a moonscape. And so essentially that's how we hike it. There is a trail that leads you over here to Crescent Lake. So night number 2, Crescent Lake. Then night number 3, I'd love to get into this Bear Lake drainage, this Bear Basin here. But might be more likely to Daphne Lake, or even if the weather doesn't cooperate, Fowler Lake here, which you can see it's not very far. But anyways, this is all off trail up here. This trail that you see here, and you see it says non-maintained. All of the stuff online about this trail basically says it's non-existent, that there are just little bits and pieces of it here and there, but it's especially back in here, it's basically non-existent. It's been washed down along this river. So you can see this trail again on Google Earth. If you look on Google Earth, you can see the trail snaking around the lakes. So night number 3, Daphne Lake, or somewhere around Bear Lake. A lot of terrain between these lakes. The map doesn't do it justice. Lots of climbing, a lot of route finding. So, even though it's less than 5 miles, it's going to take us some time. So day number 3, Daphne Lake. Day number 4, not really sure. Kevin Lake, logical kind of destination. But I think to get to Kevin Lake, we have to go up on the divide and come around and then come down one of these drainages to get there. But again, route find, and the guidebook gives some description of traveling between Daphne Lake and Kevin Lake. So that could be day number 4. Day number 5, I really want to get to Iceberg Lake. I just think it's cool. It's a neat spot, right on the edge of a glacier. Be really impressive. So that's day number 5, but you wouldn't camp here. You'd camp down in this area down here. This would be a logical area to camp in. And then that's day number 5. And then day number 6 is really hike out, or not quite get out, but get close. So couple of different trains of thought on getting out. One is to come back up this way towards Bear Lake and hike out this drainage. And the other is to go down this drainage. Not really sure on conditions along in here. It might be hard going, so like might be a night here and then a night here, and then you can see from here there's an established trail and we're out, and that wouldn't take very long. But that's kind of what I'm thinking about the trip. Not covering a ton of mileage, but the terrain is what's super spectacular here. This is all high alpine. This is almost all above 10,000 feet, and unless we drop into a drainage, like if we had to drop down into these treed areas because of weather, this is all above 10,000 feet, even 11,000 feet in a lot of instances. But it's going to be really impressive. This is going to be an epic trip, and hopefully, people want to go. I'm probably going to do it alone if nobody's going. So that's it.